Hey, what is Vegeta's most famous quote from Dragon Ball? I'd say it's probably,
But there's one thing a Saiyan always keeps: his pride!
it's so cool, isn't it? It's something many of us live by as well. I associate a lot with Vegeta, especially because both of us have failed so many times before due to nothing but our pride. Hey, I'm Eli. This is How to Live, and let me tell you about the time my insatiable ego and pride caused me to tear my ass. As always, let's go back to around a few years ago. Due to my recent academic success, I was given the opportunity to take part in an internship in Poland, where I and students from many other schools were invited to a dormitory where we lived and worked together for a whole month. This was a month after my first amateur matches, and I felt incredible. As I've said before, I felt confident. I looked great. It was a whole 180 from the person I used to be. And in this closed environment of the dormitories, I was rather unique. Everyone else had some more obvious flaws that were visible to everyone. Whether it was a lack of fitness, lack of confidence, or a lack of academic knowledge, I usually exceeded everybody else in these regards. Which meant this was the perfect circumstance to constantly feed my ego for days and weeks on end. Anybody that has experienced these sort of heights before can definitely tell you that this has a negative effect on your psyche. Of course, only in the long run, because I enjoyed all the attention. I craved all that attention. I constantly got compliments from everybody, whether it was my peers or the teachers, basically anyone involved in my life. If this had gone on for any longer, I'd be a far worse person than I am today. The only reason I'm not an egotistical, terrible asshole today is because I experienced the negative consequences of this egotistical way of living life. I craved the attention. I loved every moment of it. So of course, I do almost anything to get it. One night, while me and the others were at the gym, one of the guys started going on about me. I'm so strong and so flexible as well. Hell, I could do a split right now if I wanted to. And of course, he told me to do it, to show everyone else. I was thinking, man, I haven't even started stretching yet. We haven't had any warm-ups. That's not gonna go well, is it? But who cares? Everybody was looking at me, expecting me to do it. So why not? So I get down and try my best to do the split, but it wasn't really happening. So I try even harder and harder just to get all that attention, just to get that minuscule attention and the appraisal from everyone else, until I feel this terrible sharp pain stab right into my cheek. I stopped and told the others, yeah, it wasn't happening right now, maybe later. So we just went about our day and trained on like nothing else. Although the pain had persisted, I thought I just pulled a muscle, and it would go away if I stretched and ate well enough. Fast forward around a month and, well, it still persisted. It still hasn't gotten any better. So I finally gave in and went to a doctor, who just told me to rest it for 2 whole weeks. I was devastated. Resting for 2 weeks? That's impossible. I'm gonna lose all my stamina. I'm gonna build up so much fat. It's gonna be horrible. And the next matches were all to come up as well. But if that was the price for getting better, sure, why not? But unfortunately, these 2 weeks hadn't resulted in anything positive. This time, I asked for an appointment for a specialist, which was to be in 2 whole months. Yup. Let's put the terrible healthcare aside for a moment and focus on the story. Because when I went to the specialist, guess what he told me? To just rest it. I had to practically beg him to send me to a few other tests, just something so they can figure out what's wrong with me, because it for sure wasn't gonna get any better with rest. He signed me up for another test, which was to be in 3 months. Repeat this cycle for a whole year, until I finally get the treatment that actually helped me out. Although this process had infuriated me, it wasn't the worst part of it all. This whole persona of this strong, fit guy who's actively competing in Muay Thai, who could probably beat your ass at any time, I probably couldn't. It was my identity, and it was taken from me in an instant. Everything that I had built up was no more. And I experienced one of my lowest lows in my entire life. Nothing else could make me happy. There was nothing in my life that brought the same joy these sorts of achievements and effort had brought me. I almost felt like life wasn't worth living anymore. felt like I was a nobody. Overwhelming pride is a result of turning inwards while relying on external factors. You rely on the attention you get from others, whether it's through riches, strength, or achievements. You turn completely inward and put others down just so you feel better about yourself. But this is not something maintainable. No matter who you are, one day your ego is going to get broken and shattered. There will always be someone stronger, richer, smarter, someone who will do far better than you in every single area of life. You will feel enraged, you will feel horrible, you will be an incredibly negative person to be around. And if you don't do anything about it, this will ruin your life. The first step of taking down this horrible ego that has embedded itself into your mind is to once again turn inward and to not rely upon others, but to rely on nobody but yourself. When the reality of my situation had set in, I knew I had to do something about it. Being so depressed all the time was just not an option. So I tried the only thing that could come to my mind. Something that has been recommended to me countless of times online from people who I respected. I thought, sure, why not? Let's try meditation. Through meditation, you turn inwards. You observe your thoughts, you observe your behavior, and most of all, you observe yourself. You get to find out so much more about yourself, and you get to make peace with yourself. For years now, I've been meditating consistently, and it's been the most useful tool in my arsenal, because it's not as simple and temporary like the other tips, such as build more muscle, focus more on your style, build more confidence, all that kind of stuff. As useful as they are temporary. You will one day lose all of that, but something will persist throughout your whole life. There is somebody with whom you'll have to spend your entire life with, every second, every millisecond, without a chance to escape, no matter how terrible they are. And it's you. So getting to make peace with who you are and getting to know how you can change your negative behavior is invaluable. On my own, I meditate through the Medito application. It's completely free, without any ads, made by a non-profit organization who are extremely helpful. I'm not sponsored in any way, though I'd love to be. And I can only recommend their courses. It's amazing. But recently, I began attending a local Buddhist community whose teachings have been rather incredible as well. Putting aside all sorts of religious connotations, truly value the teachings that I've garnered from there. Because it also shined light upon the one true way to defeat your ego for once and for all. You no longer turn inwards, but instead turn your thoughts towards others and think of nothing but how you can help them. For years now, my greatest goal in life has been nothing but to help others who are in situations like I was, who didn't even have the opportunity to find out who they are, who didn't have the opportunity to flourish in life due to outside circumstances, who lacked the knowledge that is necessary. My goal in life is to bring knowledge to everyone, no matter their situation, without any requirements. And this sort of goal helps me get up every single day. It's what motivates me to do these videos despite my terrible busy schedule. I love helping people like this. And I adore the fact that one day, maybe, I can help change the world like this as well. But this is my goal. Your purpose isn't to imitate me or anybody else. Your goal isn't to be the best version of somebody else, but to be the best version of you. If you believe I can help you out with that in any way, feel free to drop a comment or contact the email down below in the description. Please, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and leave a like. It's going to help me reach more people in the long run. Thank you very much for your attention. And hey, keep struggling.